I just realized in the last video about leverage, I brought up the idea of the manager call for leverage, and then I never talked about the manager. I did that twice and didn't talk about it. So let's talk about the manager call as leverage. Okay, so you're at the point where you've dropped to the lowest price, and you've dropped it to their, you've given them all their discounts that they can get, and now then you're still a little bit apart. Okay, so here's where I go with that. Okay, when I know I'm a little bit apart, number one, I build the value back. I do everything I can do to try to bring them up. Okay, but then I'm also trying to figure out where I'm at, how far apart are we? And then after I rebuild value, now how far apart are we? Okay, so then I look at them, and there's two different ways that I use. One is obviously open box material. Again, open box material has to make sense. Okay, but it's something I have to get approval for. Okay, we can finance this at 12.9%. Sometimes I can get 0% approved. Okay, again, for both those functions to happen, that's a manager call. All right, and then last but not least, the other one that I'll use to take it to par is my friends and family discount. Okay, so here's one thing that I do regularly. All right, well, let's break down those three. All right, open box material. I explain that on the open box material, it's material that's left over from a job that has to be resent back out. We're running a pilot program through our own office where we can repackage it and put it back without having to send it out to repackage it. And what we'll do is it saves us money and it saves you money. Now you have 150 feet of open box material. I can discount that, and I never do percentages. Okay, I do it by dollars per foot. And that dollar per foot might be $1.75. It might be $2.25. It just depends on how much room I have to move without killing myself. Generally, I run at about $1.95 a foot, right? So say they've got 150 feet. Okay, they're going to save just under $300. Okay, so I'll show them that's $276. I put it down there, whatever. Okay, I'd have to get that approved. Okay. The other one that I'll do is, did you have that coupon that said that if you were one of the first 50 callers, right? And they'll say, oh yeah, we got the coupon for one of the first 50 callers, right? I might even say, hey, listen, they've got a coupon out there that saves $250 for the first 50 callers, okay? Well, I know you don't have that, you're not going to qualify for that, but sometimes I can call my boss and get him to approve it, If I could get that approved, is that something that you'd want? Absolutely. Okay. Well, let me explain to you this. I'll pick up the phone and I'll see if we got that open box material, and I'll even, or I can fight for that $250. Okay, but my boss is going to ask me point blank, Steve, are they moving forward today? Number one, and number two, he's going to ask, how are we paying for it? Okay. Now, here's where it's so important, because when you're sitting there and you're talking about that and you give them the discount, you show what it's going to be, and they say, well, all right, how are we going to pay for it? We have three different types of customers. We've got the people who like to pay cash. We've got the people who like to put it on a credit card because they like the miles. That's what I love, because I've got two grandkids in Michigan, and I use the miles to pay to see my grandkids, right? And last but not least, we can finance, okay? How to use manager call and leverage for finance. Okay, I always start out with 12.9% interest in what that payment is. That payment is almost always the same as, it's very close to what 60 months might be on a $12,000 deal. Okay, so it's about $200, whatever. So say you got a $10,000 deal, all right? You're going to be $215 a month on that 12.9 plan. I'm going to write that in there, $215 a month. I'm going to say, here's, at the most, it'll be $215 a month. Well, what's the percentage rate? Well, it's 12.9. All right. Well, they're going to say, that's way too high. You don't immediately go to 0%. You just look at them and you break down that, well, sir, this is a credit card. And I promise you that every other credit card in your pocket right now is probably somewhere around 28%. Okay? That's why we don't use credit cards too often. But because our company's so large, we negotiated a deal with Wells Fargo to get one down to 12.9. Now, let me ask a question. How is your credit? My credit's great. Well-defined great. It's 780. Okay? Listen, you may qualify for 6.9%. Okay? But I'd have to call my boss. Now, at that 6.9% program, that's 48 months, but it's at a lower interest rate. Is that something that would interest you? And I tell them what that payment's going to be. Okay? So then they go look at it and go, well, yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay? But if you're still at the point where you can't get anything, right? And they're still jawing at it, say, well, listen, we have a very limited, and I mean very limited number of 0%. Okay? If I could get this at 0%, how many months would you need to pay for it? Right? And they're going to look back and say, what's the maximum? Well, sometimes we can get 60%. Or 60 months. 60 months at 0%. But, in all honesty, that's generally reserved for jobs that are $15,000 or more. This is a $10,000 job. You know, normally I can get that at 36 months, which is going to put that about $300 a month. You know, can you afford that payment? Well, yeah, but I'd like something a little bit better. Well, what are we talking? You know, $300 is, I mean, what's the budget there? And I say, well, I'd rather have $250. Okay, $250 up to $260 maybe. Okay, but not more than what? What you're doing is you're building that price up a little bit more. Now they come back and they say $275. Well, you can do that at a 48 month. At a $10,000 deal, you can get under that. So you say, all right, Bill, here's what I can do. Let me make a phone call. All right? But listen, my boss, when I ask for this, he's going to ask me 2 questions, and I'm not going to waste his time. He's got all these different salespeople he's dealing with, but I'm not about to waste his time. So here's the question he's going to ask. Are we moving forward today, and how are we paying for it? Okay? So what I'm going to say to him is, well, if we can get it approved at the 48 months, that's how we're paying for it, right? But I need that approval. And I need this open box material. So when you pick up the phone now, then when the customer says, yeah, I'll move forward today if we can do it at that price and we can do it with the 48 months. Great. So you write that down. I mean, you do the price, you do the 48 months, you make it X, you sign it, you turn around, you hand it to him on the paper and say, sign that. He may want to see that. You're a man of your word, right, Bill? Great. Here we go. And then you pick up the phone and you be prepared to argue with the manager. Okay, because again, you're on their side. So here's how it goes with Trip. Whenever I make one of those phone calls, I put them on speakerphone, right? Oh, let me back up. The friends and family discount. Okay, this is one where you're to the end, and the only other option you have is you figure out a way that you connected with this guy and say, Bill. Now, let me back up. What I generally do is about once a week, I have Trip send me an email that says, and it's from a different number that I have saved in my phone that says Leaf Filter Corporate or Leaf Filter Marketing. Okay? And he sends that text to me and it says, you have a friends and family discount that is going to expire, close of business on Wednesday, whatever the date is. Okay? So now I look at the guy and say it's Tuesday, and I say, listen, man, this thing's, I got one other way. I really like you. I got one other way that I might be able to work this out. If I could get this down to, and you give them the par price or the par plus finance price. If it's a finance customer, all right, now you can hit him with a par price. If he's a cash customer, you can hit him with a par price. If he's not a cash price, if he's a finance guy, you got to understand what that finance cost is and add that to that par price if you're going to make any money. All right, so say he wants 60 months at that particular price. Okay, you can go back to, you better understand that there's a 17% cost of finance on that. So you need to make sure that, hey, if I'm down to $5,000, all right, I better be telling him my par price, that the friends and family discount $6,000. And the reason I say that is because it's going to cost you $1,000 to finance that. All right, so understanding your finance plans are critical. But then you turn around and as you're looking at him, you say, Bill, let me ask a question. I got a text that told me that I have a friends and family discount that's about to expire. I was going to use that on my son, but he's decided he does not want to move forward right now. I can get another one of these, but I'd hate to see this go to waste. I'd really like to bless you with it. A friends and family discount would knock this thing down to $6,000. If I could knock this down to $6,000 and still finance it for you, could I earn your business today? And then he's going to say, yeah. Most of the time they're going to say, "What, you could do that for me?" Yeah, I want to bless you with this. And then they look at you and they're like, yeah, I'd probably do that. Well, listen, I got to make a phone call to my boss because friends and family are not for customers. And he's going to give me hell about it, okay? But I'm going to let him know that I made a friend today, and I'll go to bat for you. But he's going to ask, how are we moving forward today? If I can get this done, are we moving forward today? Well, yeah. Okay, great. Now then we go to the call with Trip, right? You got to play the part here. This is where acting comes in, all right? Pick up the phone, I call Trip, and I say, hey, Trip, I need a couple things from you. I'm sitting here with Mr. Smith, and we're at, $6,000. All right, we're basically sitting at par pricing, and the way I got to a par price is I offered my friends and family discount that's about to expire. He's immediately going to respond, that's not for customers. Well, yeah, but I get that, but I've made a friend, and I'd really like to bless him with it. It's going to expire, it's going to go away, and he's going to say, you can't use it for customers. I'm like, Trip, I earned it, right? They don't know if it's a friend or a family. They don't know if I know this guy from before or whatever. The bottom line in this is I need this deal. We need this deal. I want to bless this guy. And I bust my ass for you. And I'm just asking for a favor here. And he's going to say, I'll tell you what. Is he moving forward today? Yeah, he'll move forward today. How's he paying for it? We're going to be paying cash or we're going to finance it. And that's the other thing I need. What do you mean that's the other thing you need? Do we have any 60 months left? Steve, you're kidding me. You want to give my friends and family and give them a 60-month? Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ, what are you doing to me? Right? Well, Trip, I'm just trying to sell something. You send me out here to sell something. Listen, it's got to be a fight. It's got to be you're still on their side fighting for it or whatever. Right? And then finally I'm going to say, dude, you're on speakerphone. And you're going to hear a pause. He's going to go, I'm going to prove this, and then you and I are going to have a talk. Have a good day. And that's it. And then I'm going to send a text saying, damn, you didn't give me an authorization code. I'm going to send a text. I know you're pissed, but I need an authorization code. I mean, you got to play the game. And now then after you played that game and you're done with that game, these people are going to go, holy crap, are you in trouble? It might be in a little bit, but he'll get over it, right? And you just laugh and you go, hey, I want to help you. They'll never cancel on you. Yeah, you're only down to par. You made 8%, but you didn't walk away with nothing. Okay? You didn't walk away with nothing. All right? You leave it at that. So that's just one of those things that I wanted to throw out at you. Just how to use that manager call and the importance of that manager call and use it for anything. Once you've got them to your bottom price, you can't give them anything else. Everything else has to be manager approved. Otherwise, you're a liar. So break it down and help them and say, this is what it is. All right?